Setting up a pre-recorded webinar within Webinar Geo is an easy thing to do, and we're just going to follow the steps here, starting from our dashboard, and click on Set Up Recorded Webinar. Now, the only thing that you need to have with your pre-recorded webinar is a file that you can use as the presentation. There's two ways to drop the file in. You can either use a recording of a presentation that you did on Webinar Geo as a webinar, so it automatically records previous events. So you can choose from any of the previous webinars that you've done, and it simply drops that recording in, ready to be used as your evergreen webinar. You can also add an external video file, and that triggers the ability to put in either a YouTube or a Vimeo link straight into the system. So let's say, for example, we've got a Vimeo video there. We can give it a title, Your Pre-Recorded Webinar, just like that. Now we can also add in what we call a promo video. Now that's a video that will be on the welcome page, simply inviting people to register. So it could be a video that says, hi, welcome to the page. This is what we're going to be talking about in the webinar. You can drop in a video here and choose to have that autoplay if you want to. And again, all you need is either a Vimeo or a YouTube link to make that happen. The next part of a recorded webinar or evergreen webinar is how are the people going to be shown the options of being able to watch that webinar. So we have here two different systems, either 3-day or the 1-week system. And the difference between the two is that the 3-day system will always pick up just today, tomorrow, and the day after. Okay? So when your person lands on the page, they'll be able to see whatever the day is. It'll move forward on a rolling basis. So if they visit the page on a Thursday, they'll see that they can watch the webinar on Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. If they visit the page on a Monday, they would be able to see the choices of Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Or alternatively, you can choose the 1-week system and make a manual selection of which days you want to seem like the presentation is available. So let's say, for example, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, and you can also choose the times. So you might choose to have a morning session, an afternoon session, and an evening session, just like that. So when your person lands on the page, and we'll show you this in just a second, they'll be able to see a different choice of which time and day they want to be able to watch. You can also choose a time zone. So we say the majority of our users are based in a particular location. So let's say we're talking Eastern time in the United States. So we go America, we find something like New York, which will be Eastern time. And that is the time zone that the times will be shown in. We also have one more option here, which is the Watch Now option. When somebody comes to the page, they're electing, maybe I want to see this presentation on Wednesday at 3 p.m. But if you tick the yes for the Watch Now, you're also giving them the option that they can watch the video right now or the presentation right now if they have time. So in other words, you're making that selection available to people. For this demonstration, I'm going to leave that as no, because we want this to seem like it's a presentation at a specific time that they're going to be able to watch. Now we choose our color and simply click on Create. So what we've done there is we've dropped in a video file using a Vimeo link. We've got a promo video using a YouTube video, and then we've chosen the times and days. Let's see how that looks for someone who's coming to your page. So this is now the link that you can start to drive traffic to. So I'll copy that link, and I'm going to open that as if I was attending the webinar or coming to the page. Bingo.
Welcome.
And there's our pre-recorded welcome video that we set up. And you can see here that people are now able to choose the date and time of them watching. So we're able to say, I'm in a particular time zone. And I'm going to say which particular time. Remember, we chose 6 a.m., 6 p.m., etc. And what date? And we are now able to register for that webinar, and the system will send a reminder for the attendee an hour before the event so that they get the reminder to go and watch the event as they've chosen. So as somebody drops in, for example, their name and details, they're immediately shown the thank you page where you can write the description as well. That was actually, I'll show you where you set that up. But the description's there. They can add that straight to their calendar, and they can see the countdown to when the event is on. They can add it straight in, and they'll be reminded to go and watch the event with their unique link. So this description, I'll just show you quickly on the video as well. When we're setting up, we've got that one there. So we set up the video file. We set up the autoplay as we saw, and the thank you page and register page information. So you can put some extra information on the registration page. You can also do the same on the thank you. We will be starting on time. And you can also add additional information on the webinar page should you choose to. So now let me show you what difference that makes, just to show you where that shows up. So we've got all of our details there. Again, let me update that one. Take that link and we will go and have a look at how it seems now. Again, we have our promotion video starting over here. We're going to drop in our details. Now you can see where I wrote extra information. It's right there. And as I fill this in now and choose time and dates, etc., and register, do you remember I wrote we will be starting on time? That description is where it comes here, and that will also go through to the calendar. So that's how to set up a recorded webinar within Webinar Geo. Simply click through to set up a recorded webinar, choose from a pre-existing recording or an external file. You'll notice that the title field isn't able to be typed into until you've chosen one of these. So either a webinar that you've already done on Webinar Geo or an external recording. As soon as you've chosen, you can then type into those fields. So then you can choose a promotional video, choose when you want people to be able to see, and of course the designs of the page. I hope you find that nice and easy. Setting up pre-recorded webinars is a great way to be able to drive traffic to evergreen systems and have people opt in, joining your list at the same time, and making sure that you're growing your online assets with Webinar Geo.